Talk Orion Council here. One moment. It is nice to communicate. We give you knowledge about energies, and we also want you to forgive yourselves at this time. We know what it means to be excited about reality. We know what it means to be expansive, and we know what it means to be in a state of having lots of ideas about what you need to do. If you guess what you need to do, you are not knowing what you need to do. When you are tuning into yourself, you are asking, how can I become who I need to become? And when you are becoming that being, you are involved in a wonderful system that has been placed for you to channel your excitement through. The breakthroughs happen when you are expansive. And when you are having a breakthrough, you say, finally, I am on the right track. I was not in alignment before. Now I am. And what is that feeling? Many of you are looking for that sensation of, am I on the right track? What are the inklings of my curiosity, and what are the specifics that my body focuses on when I am walking along my own journey? You have many names for this path. Yes, some of you are scientific about it. Some of you are curious and say life is an eternal discovery. And some of you say, I know this path because I'm a very ancient soul. Go outside for a moment and look around. Do you see other beings on their path? Of course. You say, I see them. They are very focused. Yes. But what about yourself? How are you sensitive to yourself when you are in a very exciting process? What does that mean to have your senses open? Some of you are experiencing that. You say, my mind has shifted according to the planets, our channel says. You are all shifting, but you do not see the changes that we are seeing from our perspective. We are observing humanity, and humanity is incredibly creative at this time. There are potentials, so we know you are wanting to hear about them, yes?
Yes, indeed.
Well, you might become aware of more than one higher perspective. You say that you can look at a certain situation from different angles. You have the sense perception of four-dimensionality. What about the other senses? People on your planet have had moments where they were inside of the body and outside at the same time. They also had the experience of turning towards their mind and channeling knowledge that they did not know about before, so they would be tuning into the records. Those people who have tuned into the records of knowledge that is quite expensive are worried that the knowledge is correct or incorrect, and so they receive the information and they look around their planet for proof that it is correct. What is the value of getting knowledge from the records, Orion Council? I have been tuning into my senses, and now I receive this sort of template. We have said many times that you are not to be preoccupied with the template. Some of you want to explain creation. That is all right. But we see that there are so many templates. It is as if you were running around to explain anatomy of multiple bodies to all the different people containing different multiple bodies. It is expansion work for eternity. If you are curious about the knowledge you are receiving, you may want to look for the patterns in the information. Some of you say, I had a dream, it was so exciting, I should tell everyone. But every single night you are having a dream. Look for the continuity in the storyline. That is how you begin to create a storyline. Where is the pattern, Orion Council? They are so different, these dreams. We believe that you have an opportunity to fine-tune your own downloads, as you call them. You say, I am receiving so much information, I am overwhelmed in my physicality. Where do I focus, Orion Council? You know how to focus. You went to school. Many of you went to school, if not most, who are listening to these messages. We know that you have a system for channeling information for your own people on your planet. You know how to communicate to certain personalities. You know that in this dimension, I must channel this sort of information to those sorts of people. If you feel that this knowledge you are receiving is not applicable to beings on your planet, we suggest moments of meditation, of course. Why? Why should you meditate upon knowledge that exists for another personality on another planet? You have sensitivities and you are exploring the possibilities of your own consciousness. You have applied knowledge to your planet, and then you'd say, Orion Council, I have a chance now to look into another dimension of reality. And some of you are exploring those dimensions. You are concerned that others will or will not understand those dimensions. And you are wanting those other beings to know what dimension you are traveling into in your mind. We see that you have created a system for entering that layer, so how do you explain that system to someone else? Is it important? First, you must ask yourself, why do I do this? And if you are excited by your own exploration, we are certain that others will be excited about it as well. Good work so far on your planet. Nice to talk with you at this time. How are you?
Excellent. How's the council?
We are excited to share with you information that we have about your planet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Those people who are experiencing expansion at this time are wondering who to connect with at this time as well. We know that you have had struggles with your cultural differences, and you have had many opportunities to share. And you say, Orion Council, I have shared with so many cultures, but they are not quite grasping what it is that I am, or who I am becoming. If you know who you are, you will manifest, as you call it, those who are in a similar vibration of knowing themselves. So how do you create a culture of beings who all are self-realized? What is that sort of group dynamic? You were told that those of a similar exercise will join each other, yes? When you have your excitement, you begin to attract, and we have told you that the particles come. And who are those particles, Orion Council? Now it makes sense. You were talking about human beings. We were saying that ascension is multi-layered. One human being is multidimensional. You are multidimensional. Your conscious creators are multidimensional. Beings in other dimensions are multidimensional. Now with the group dynamic of multidimensional beings creating a culture, is a sharing of the patterns. Those patterns that you have found in your own dynamic would be understood by them due to your own communication with those personalities. It is a simple teaching, but many are having trouble communicating their patterns. Orion Council, what is the value? Again, we have told you this, and we hope that you are understanding our communication.
Yes, communication is well understood.
All right. How can we be of assistance at this time? Thank you.
How is the energy, the ascension energy of 2020? Everybody's been asking, like, okay, now we had 2019 strugglesome year, having to integrate and refining the body, bringing out the diamond self. How does the council see the refinement of the true self in 2020?
Good idea to ask that sort of question from Orion Council. There is an opportunity for your groups on your planet there is an opportunity for the groups on your planet to become a bit more easy about how they are sharing resources. Those resources that have been transported throughout your planet Earth have had difficult journeys. Many of the transport systems have been stuck. Why is not so important. Those people who are shifting the resources from one location to the next are wanting to have content and product transported quickly. Some of you must become more patient with one another. You say, I want to have this in this location immediately. There are people having quite expensive experiences without the same velocity. They are having the same levels of intervention from other planetary species, although they are, in your terms, having a quite simple experience. There are people who are in very high places having these experiences, and they are needing to change. They are being guided to change their focus as far as time is concerned. Many of these people are excited about the changes taking place with their spiritualities, but they are in a style of living that is rushed and not so meditative. Those people need to recognize that there are others having an exact same intuition, and they're having the exact same healing experience, and they're having the exact same definition of that quality of communication. Go outside and look around. What is the other one's journey like? Go outside and look around. You do not know one another's patterns. You must create your own pattern finding, and you must share and communicate that, because you are needing to create systems that have a sensitivity towards one another. That is what is required in this upcoming system of 12 months. Thank you.
Another question. How do people that feel like they're on the verge of giving up and they're at the crossroad, whether I delete my channel, delete myself, give everything up that I've believed in, why is the resistance so strong within themselves when success is calling, especially right now with the planets in line telling you to go for what you believe in? Why is it for some people so hard to overcome, to accept success and step that ladder upwards?
One moment. Thank you. It is a good question for us to answer. You have seen other people practicing resistance, yes, and you say, I am feeling discomfort because those beings who are so important at this time are resisting what I feel is to be for them. And when you are observing these personalities using their free will choice to shift their focus, you are saying, Orion Council, I have not the idea to turn backwards. And it is my perspective that these beings are changing their whole life in a way that is unusual. If you were to look at it from our perspective, you would see that each individual creator has a unique sensitivity, and with those sensitivities, they are focusing. So when you are observing another being, and you know that they are shifting their focus quickly, we have explained the importance of patience. And some of you are saying, I want to change quickly. I want the resource in that location overnight, now. And the same goes for your friends on this planet. Your friends are slower at making certain choice points where you have been quite fast. And you would say, oh, I am sorry, Orion Council, I did not recognize that they were still learning this sort of wave of thought. And in other ways, you say they are quite fast at this sort of job. Some people have practiced their abilities in ways that are confusing. Yes, you say, oh, the intuitive system is complex. I have compassion and I have a knowledge of that way because I have experienced confusion. When you see a friend who is in a state of confusion, you can ask your friend, how can you become clear for yourself? And you must give time because people are so worried about making the correct decision that they do not realize that they are only doing it to themselves. Their whole process of complicating their own focusing. When you go outside and you look at one another's journeys and you say, this is fast, this is slow, this is confusion, this is actually quite talent. You are noticing that your own pattern system software finding is a bit shaky. You cannot map the patterns of these people, and you think there is inherently something wrong with everyone. That is the feeling you are having. That feeling that these personalities are not focused is an upsetting feeling, and we are reflecting this because we know the discomfort when you are looking at a planet that looks somewhat disorganized. You say, I want to see some sort of continuity. Yes, that is the upset. And you are looking to the other one for continuity, and the other one is involved in a certain focusing that is not clear and it has not been communicated. Those people who ask one another, how can I be of service, must know that they are correct in asking. And after you have asked for, how can I be of service, you must allow those other ones to take their time, and you must allow those other ones the option. And that is the healing that is required. They are wanting to feel that you are accepting of their decision-making process. Thank you.
Final question to the council. So how can we inspire the starseeds that they don't need permission to be, that they need to be themselves and stand firm to become that without waiting for that what is called acceptance?
Direct communication with high self is required. These personalities are unfocused in the sense that the fifth dimensional reality, as you call it, has not been given opportunity to show the pathway. So if you are not having visions about the bigger picture for yourself, you are looking at the other ones and saying, that way and that way works. Now I must figure out this formula, but it has been here the entire time. That is our teaching. Thank you.
We have no more questions. If the council is complete, please inform us.
All right, we will tell you a story about Orion Council. There were personalities on your planet who were channeling Orion Council, and they said, I am very sensitive now to energy. And when they began to feel our frequency, they began to transcribe long lists of codings, and they looked at the codings and their mind was expanded. They felt in new ways, and they were curious about energy. They began to observe the animals, and they said, I am noticing patterns all around. And they saw the connection between their environment and their channelings, and they knew that it was guided by the energy of Orion Council to help them see a larger perspective. And when they were in communication with us, they felt they were important. Now, when they went to other personalities to explain this experience, and the other personalities were focused differently, the other personalities could not confirm the experience. They simply nodded their heads and said, oh, what is that? So strange. And these people who were in communication with a greater perspective decided that it did not make sense and that there must have been something wrong with their own experience because they were so unique at that time. Many of you are putting the pieces together and you are knowing who you are. And we say that is most important for you because once the knowledge has been downloaded and once you have channeled the knowledge to this planet, you have completed a circuitry in your mind. And you know that you have access to that circuitry. Some of you are inside of your mind saying, I have to fulfill my purpose. And you do not see how mapping your environment through this greater perspective is connected to the reason you came to the planet. You have not yet put the two together, and you have not yet seen how this skill is to be applied so that the other ones can understand how to communicate with multidimensional realities. That is the work of many of you at this time, to show one another how your communication system with the greater reality is to benefit this planet Earth. You must tell others about your skills and you must demonstrate them, and you must continue to map your environments and continue that sense of I know who I am here, and do not hesitate to explain in your creative way why you are doing what you are doing. We know that the teaching is simple, but to have the experience of that sharing of codings is something new. It has not been practiced for a while on this planet. Many of you say, I have so much to offer. Orion Council, how come no one is looking in my direction? And there is a conflict within the mind because the frontal part of your brain says, Orion Council suggests this, I must do that. And the lower part of your mind says, And it tells you about the options that you have in your next 12 months. And some of you begin to look at possibilities, and you are stuck in the possibility of I could do that because it is a good feeling. You like to feel that you have options. Our channel is always saying to her friends, it is nice to have options, yes? Now focus again. Once you have the option, how will you take it to the next level? Because we are telling you that there is a greater reality for you to experience. Thank you.
Thank you.